Are moments in life when you realize you aren't just disagreeing with someone, you're speaking different languages entirely. Not because one of you is wrong, but because you were shaped by different worlds. My father grew up in the world America promised. Work hard, stay loyal, keep your head down, and you'll be rewarded. A world where the system wasn't questioned, because questioning it meant risking survival. A world built on assembly lines, pensions, and the belief that stability was the highest form of freedom. That world still exists, but only in memory. I didn't grow up in his world. I grew up after it collapsed. I grew up in the information age, where everything the system tried to hide is now exposed, where people don't wait 40 years to see the truth. They see it at 14 on a phone screen, where loyalty is replaced with opportunity, pensions with volatility, and blind obedience with the terrifying possibility of real freedom. We stand in two different eras, two different realities, two different frequencies, and no matter how loud we speak, our worlds rarely overlap. His world was the industrial age. In that world, there were four pillars of life: get an education, get a job, build a business, invest for retirement. The foundation of every dream was obedience. Follow the path, follow the rules, follow authority, follow the system that raised you. Because in that world, the system worked. You stayed at a job for 40 years and retired with a pension. You bought a house and it actually meant something. Companies valued loyalty because loyalty kept the machine alive. The industrial age rewarded predictability. It rewarded the employee mindset. It rewarded those who could follow orders without deviation. So to my father, doing what the system asked wasn't submission. It was strength, a badge of honor, a declaration of responsibility, a testament to discipline. He believes he worked for himself because that belief is how you preserve dignity inside a system that was never designed to set you free. You can call it delusion, you can call it programming, but from his perspective, it was survival. My world is the information age. I didn't inherit pensions or steady ladders. I inherited collapsing institutions, weaponized media, digital opportunity, and spiritual awakening. The information age doesn't reward obedience. It punishes it. The system today doesn't want loyal workers. It wants distracted consumers, quiet dependents, predictable citizens living inside algorithms designed to keep them compliant. My generation is the first to see the full architecture exposed: the illusion of freedom, the myth of stability, the trap of traditional success, the psychological prison of employment, the spiritual suffocation of conformity. We weren't raised to believe the world was safe. We were raised to survive inside a system that constantly rewrites its rules. So our instincts evolved. We don't trust institutions. We question authority. We chase autonomy. We value creativity over security. We seek sovereignty, not stability. To him, that looks reckless. To me, it looks like waking up. When he asks, "Are you all in?" He's asking from a world where your life is defined by commitment to a single path. When I answer, "I don't know yet," I'm answering from a world where your life is defined by the freedom to choose consciously. To him, uncertainty looks like disloyalty. To me, it's the beginning of self-ownership. He sees working for the company as honor. I see it as the first step into someone else's story. He sees obedience as the foundation of success. I see obedience as the ceiling that limits potential. He sees a car, a house, a job, and a routine as adulthood. I see them as variables in a life I haven't fully designed yet. He believes life is linear: start, work, retire, legacy. I believe life is modular: identity, purpose, creation, ownership. We're not living different lifestyles. We're living different timelines of human evolution. The root of the conflict is simple. Freedom means two different things. To him, freedom is stability: a good salary, a paid-off home, a comfortable retirement, predictability. To me, freedom is sovereignty, control of my time, ownership of my work, creative autonomy, spiritual alignment, independence from systems, the ability to build my own world. These definitions can't be reconciled. They were born from different environments. He grew up in a world that punished dreamers. I grew up in a world that punishes those who don't dream. The reason he can't see what you see isn't intelligence. It isn't ego. It isn't stubbornness. It's worldview conditioning. He spent decades inside a system designed to reward compliance and suppress questioning. You spent your life decoding that system and searching for a path outside it. You're not arguing about decisions. You're arguing about reality. And that argument has no winner, only understanding. Here's the truth. He wants you to succeed in his language. You want to succeed in yours. He wants stability for you because he believes stability is safety. You want autonomy because you believe autonomy is life. Neither of you are wrong. Both of you are seeing the world exactly as you were shaped to see it. But the future belongs to the one who adapts, who evolves, who creates. And that future is not behind you. It's ahead of you. This is your world, not his. Most people live their entire lives believing they're free. They wake up, choose their clothes, choose their job, choose their friends, choose their politics, choose their beliefs, and never notice that every one of those choices was preloaded long before they were born. The greatest trick the modern world ever pulled wasn't tyranny. It wasn't force. It wasn't oppression. It was convincing people that their chains were choices. We were taught that freedom is the ability to pick from a menu. But what we were never told is that the menu itself is the cage. Walk through any city, any suburb, any campus, any corporate tower. Look closely. You'll see the same blueprint repeating: get an education, get a job, get a house, get married, retire, die. This is the loop, the cycle, the invisible track that billions of people run on, believing they designed it themselves. But the truth is brutal. We inherited a world designed by the industrial age, perfected by governments, enforced by economic necessity, and the most dangerous prisons are the ones people never realize they're in. My dad talks about the four pillars: education, job, business, investment. On the surface, it sounds wise, stable, responsible. But these pillars were never built for sovereignty. They were built for the stability of the system itself. Education doesn't teach autonomy. It teaches obedience. Stand in line, raise your hand, follow instructions, memorize answers. Don't question authority. Get the right answer, not the true one. It trains compliance, not curiosity. Jobs are controlled survival. A job gives you just enough money to live, just enough comfort to tolerate dissatisfaction, just enough fear to keep you dependent. That isn't freedom. That's stability with boundaries. Business is sold as independence. But most people don't own businesses. Their businesses own them. A glorified job, more hours, more stress, no safety net. True ownership is rare because it requires sovereignty of mind, not paperwork. Investments complete the illusion. Retirement plans, 401ks, pensions, accounts you can't touch until the system decides you're allowed to. Your money stays inside the machine long before it ever works for you. That isn't freedom. It's containment. People like to believe society evolved naturally. It didn't. It was engineered to keep populations orderly, to reduce unpredictability, to maintain labor supply, to reward conformity, to punish deviation. This isn't conspiracy. It's economics. Chaos is expensive. Free thinkers disrupt markets. Autonomous individuals can't be controlled. So the world built a life path that feels personal, but works universally. Get a degree, get a job, stay employed, pay taxes, own a home, stay predictable. Everything looks voluntary. Nothing actually is. The key lie is simple. You are free to choose. Choose what? You choose your major, your employer, your mortgage, your investments. But you don't choose the structure of the system. You don't choose the value of your labor. You don't choose the rules of currency. You don't choose the framework of retirement. Freedom inside a cage is not freedom, it's permission. And permission is not sovereignty, it's dependency wearing a smile. My father isn't a slave. He doesn't see chains. He sees accomplishments. Because he mastered the system. He played by its rules and won within its boundaries. But winning inside a system is not the same as escaping it. He became successful in the world he was given. You are trying to build a world that doesn't exist yet. That's the difference. The information age broke the spell. For the first time in history, we can see the system, study the system, question the system, build outside the system. The internet cracked the illusion. Web3 shattered it. Because Web3 doesn't just decentralize money, it decentralizes identity, power, ownership, thought. The industrial age taught, be part of the machine. The information age teaches, build your own machine. That difference is everything. So what is real freedom? Not a job, not a salary, not a house, not a pension, not a title, not a retirement plan. Real freedom is the ability to choose your path without depending on a system that profits from your obedience. Real freedom is ownership of time, income, skill, identity, destiny. Real freedom is sovereignty. And sovereignty begins the moment you realize the world is not what it tells you it is. You are not who the world tells you to be. Most people will never see this. They are comfortable inside the simulation. You saw through it. And once you see the architecture, you can never unsee it.